What is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now, our movie hangout show. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and we got the whole crew here today. Mine is Keith. He might be he's actually not popping in tonight. Actually, no late appearance by Keith. So it'll just be us for today. Of course, we have Brian Avalosino here. How's it going, Brian?
Going good. A little bit of trivia for you guys. I was watching Spider-Man Homecoming before this and noticed something I've never noticed before. Okay, so ready? Here's a question. On the way to Washington, D.C., there's a construction sign on the side of the road that says, blank, blank, use an alternate route.
Blank, blank, use an alternate route?
Yeah. So, like, it says...
That's not very much to go off of.
The cause of use the alternate route is the fill-in. What is the cause of the alternate route? Them telling to use an alternate route. I've never noticed this until today.
Well, let's see. It came out in 15. Is it the cause of Captain America?
Wait.
I was thinking. Oh, it's Homecoming is what you're talking about.
Homecoming. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Far From Home this whole time.
Jake, this came out in 17.
Homecoming came out in 17?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was after Civil War. Yeah.
Well, it couldn't be the Avengers battle because that was years later.
It might.
This blew my mind.
Is it a character or a thing?
It's something that happened in one of the movies.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it has to be some type of Easter egg. I'm not sure.
Because of Loki?
Nope. Again, blew my mind that I never noticed this.
Can you pinpoint a year the movie came out? That might help me.
Was it the Civil War explosion that killed T'Chaka?
Well, that was in a different country.
Was in
Norway, I think.
No,
not Norway.
Lagos.
Oh no, he's talking about the one that took place at the UN.
Oh yeah, the UN. Sorry.
Yeah.
It took place in 2014.
Because of Hydra?
Oh, Winter Soldier.
Because of Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
You want me to give it to you?
Just we have to move on to the show at some point. So
the sign says Triskelion cleanup.
Triskelion. That was a guess I had, but I didn't think it would be like a building. I don't know. Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah.
I
knew it had to do with Winter Soldier. I knew it had to do with Winter Soldier. So
yeah. Never seen it. I was like, I paused it and I was like, holy crap, I've never noticed this. And they actually mention it again, something else in like 5 minutes later. The robbers are like, this Triskelion build or destruction is gonna make us so much money.
Well, because at the beginning of the film, Michael Keaton's crew, they're picking up the aftermath of the Avengers movie
of New York,
and then they're picking up the aftermath of the Triskelion destruction in the Winter Soldier too. So
yeah,
cool little Easter egg.
Yeah, I know, right? So thought I'd share.
That is very interesting.
We just spent 4 minutes on trying to guess what Brian was talking about.
That's okay.
Gio, how's it going, man? Gio Ramos in the house.
Pretty good. Cheers. It's been a day, but
cheers.
Let's talk about some movies. Our favorite actors. Oh, spoiler. Sorry.
Well, it's in the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail of the video.
So no worries, no spoilers here. And Jake Berlin, how you doing, man?
I'm hanging in there, man. Luckily enough, tomorrow is my Friday, which is nice. So Gabby's birthday is on Saturday, so we're going to take a drive down the coast, go to San Luis Obispo, maybe hit up Santa Barbara. It's going to be a nice little time, so I'm excited.
Oh, so you're out for the rest of the week?
Sounds like fun.
I'm out for the rest of the week. I will not be on Mandalorian on Friday, boys.
Oh my goodness! How could we do it with that?
What about POV?
Well, if I'm leaving Thursday, like I said last night on our Patreon stuff, I won't be on the reaction on Thursday. If we end up leaving on Thursday, so
Got it.
Well, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but as far as movies go, it's starting to feel a little bit closer to normal. Like we can actually go to a theater and watch movies. There's new releases coming out, and we could talk about box office stuff, even though it's still not the same. But so Gio and I saw Army of the Dead, which we'll talk about next week, I'm sure. And then I just watched.
we have a fun topic for next week. But yes.
I just watched Mitchell's versus the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh, that movie's amazing!
Yesterday. Awesome.
So
Both
good.
of those movies are my two favorite movies of the year so far: Army of the Dead and Mitchell's versus the Machines. So
Over
it's just
Godzilla?
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I love the fights in Godzilla, but these are just better movies in my opinion. But so I'm just excited because movies are back. Almost.
No,
back to
hey
normal.
man, I agree, and it also it's allowing us to discuss stuff, which is nice. I don't have to come up with show topics all the time, which is nice. We can rely on a trailer, or maybe there's like, for example, this last week has been just bombarded with Knives Out 2 castings.
Well, that's the
and
thing.
I can kind of weave in a topic of something like talking about our favorite actors and actresses
there's
because so
actual
much
news.
casting is happening.
There's actual news now.
Yeah.
Now that the movies are moving forward with production and all that stuff. So exciting times.
I have two questions.
yeah.
Quick question. One, will I like Army of the Dead? Me.
I think you'll have a fun time with it. There is a lot of gore, but it's more zombie gore than human gore.
Okay, fine with that.
Yeah.
Two, someone like me, should I go see it in theaters or should I watch it on TV?
I'm gonna go see it in theaters, Brian, if you want to go. So
Yeah, I mean, I would teeter on, because I don't know if you're going to love it, but if you want, I think seeing it in a theater added to the experience and made me like it more. So I would say I always say go to theater if you can.
So I'll just say it now because we're talking about it. Next week is a full-on Zack Snyder episode.
Oh.
We are not only reviewing Army of the Dead, but we are going to be
Are you
ranking.
going to make it next week?
We are going to be.
Check my
Wait,
schedule.
hold on. Oh, I got to check the calendar. Hold on. I might have just blew the gun a little bit.
I think next week's our watch along.
Next week's our watch along. So the week after that is going to be a full-blown Zack Snyder episode. Not only an Army of the Dead spoiler discussion, but we're going to be ranking Zack Snyder's films. So stay tuned, everybody.
Like
That
ranking-
should be exciting.
Ranking from what one we like the best.
To be determined on how they are ranked.
Okay.
Well,
Interesting.
that won't be controversial at all. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Speaking of the watch along, we have a reveal for what we're going to watch. So I'll throw it to Jake for that.
Yeah, so let me just go ahead and pull it up real quick. So this was a fun poll, and I hope you guys haven't gone and looked.
Wait, we picked movies?
Yes, we picked movies.
Yeah, you don't remember?
So
I'm
the
kidding,
5
man.
movies that were selected, we each picked a movie. We were each given a service, and we each picked a movie. Keith was given HBO Max. He picked Hot Fuzz. I had Netflix. I went with Miracle. Gio had Hulu. Excuse me. He went with Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Brian had Disney Plus. He went with National Treasure. And Jacob did Prime Video with The Terminator.
I don't know who won yet, so I'm excited. to
I
find
don't
out.
know. For once, I didn't
I
peek
purposely
or
avoid
look.
it.
So, do you guys want to take a guess?
I really have no idea.
Out of those
I'm
5.
going to say Hot Fuzz.
I'm going to say mine.
I'll say Hot Fuzz.
Okay. So, we had a 2-headed race,
Okay.
and it came down, and the winner won by 1%.
Wow.
Won by 1%.
Wow.
Okay. We had 72 overall votes. In second place was Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Really?
The winner, I'm so excited.
Way to build
National
anticipation.
Treasure. National Treasure won the watch along. We will be watching it next Tuesday, May 25th, right here on the channel. With 33% of the votes,
Dang.
it beat out Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, which had 32% of the votes. Super exciting. And I will say this, up until about 2 days ago, Mission Impossible had about a 3% lead on National Treasure. So it was a late life.
Oh, no.
Late life for National Treasure. And
Really?
we'll be watching that next week.
I am shocked Hot Fuzz wasn't even in the top 2.
Hot Fuzz came in third with 22%.
Wow. I'm shocked.
All I have to say is now I have 2 streaming choices to pick a movie from. So
2. Oh.
Netflix and HBO Max, baby.
This is my second watch along win in a row. So you're welcome, everyone.
I actually like National Treasure. I don't know about you guys. I know Jake loves it.
Oh, I like it
super
too.
excited.
I like it.
Fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I love National Treasure so much. I actually watch it probably like once every couple months, and I'm super excited to revisit it again with you guys. So
It's a silly, fun movie.
absolutely.
Sean Bean, and Nicolas Cage.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, check us out. So next Tuesday, our watch along, we'll be watching National Treasure at about 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that should be a lot of fun. And since it is Tuesday, that means it's news day, and we got some cool stuff to talk about, and one of them being the Snake Eyes teaser footage. Any information we need to know prior to talking about this? You guys just want to jump in?
No, the only thing that we can address for those who may be watching and maybe who aren't very familiar with the character, this is a very hard left on what the original Snake Eyes character is like. And what I'm talking about is that the character speaks and the character takes his helmet off. Once the character becomes Snake Eyes in the comics, in the cartoon, in the G.I. Joe films, he doesn't speak for a certain reason in his backstory, and we never actually see him with the helmet off. But because you're putting a face like Henry Golding in the role, because it is a different adaptation of the character, they're taking a different approach. And I, for one, am totally fine with it. And I'm super pumped for it. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing that I wanted to touch on before we got going here.
I have not seen the G.I. Joe movies, that's true. Nor did I know that he doesn't speak or take off his helmet. So these are all
I know that just from the movies. I'm not the biggest fan or expert of G.I. Joe lore.
I know a little bit. I don't know a ton, but I know enough.
So I'm not sure if this is something that like fans should be upset about. You know, I don't know.
They're upset.
They're super upset. They're upset.
But isn't it his origin? Like there's going to be a reason, right?
It's called Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is what it's called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why are people freaking out? Like something's going to happen to him where he's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what he confirmed during I forget if it was an interview or a trailer commentary. Like they will work towards one of two things happening. He'll either have his vocal cords damaged or he'll take a vow of silence, but they will work toward that.
So why are people
he took a vow of silence in the recent G.I. Joe films is what he did. There was something that happened in his history, in his origin, that he took a vow of silence. I have a feeling that to make it more believable, they'll probably cut his voice out somehow. But again, we're going to be getting a movie with him talking, and that's okay. Everyone, it is okay.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay. I don't get it. Why people would? Maybe I'm just not that.
Well, I think it's because you're not attached to it. Imagine if they took one of your favorite Marvel or DC characters and like did something like this.
Brian, this is similar. This is a similar thing. This is a similar thing to if they took out Spider-Man and Batman's parents being killed the way they did. This is fans would riot if that backstory was taken out. This is very similar to G.I. Joe fans.
It's on the same level of Deadpool's mouth being shut.
But at the same,
I was thinking about that too. Yeah.
But at the same time, has he like
Dom? Thank you.
Yeah. But okay, so this is coming from naive. I don't know much about G.I. Joe lore other than
super badass.
Yeah. Okay. So, is Snake Eyes' origin ever told? And is that origin that he has never spoken? Because then I would understand.
No, in are you talking about in the movies or in the comic
In the
books?
movies?
No, in the comics.
His origin's told.
And he has
Yeah.
never spoken a word.
No. He took a vow of silence in the comic books because of
so-
something that happened in his history. Well, and I might be corrected in the comments because there's different iterations, different stories. But the stories that I know, he took a vow of silence because of something that happened in the past.
Okay, but before that vow of silence, he spoke, correct?
Yeah, but he took the vow. He took the vow when he was a kid. That's the thing. That's it happened when he was younger, and he grew up as like a teenager, young adult into an adult without speaking, which is why people are freaking out because he's already an adult and he's talking.
Okay, then I guess I could see a little bit more of the
No, I
freak
don't see
out.
it at all. It's stupid.
Well,
There's no reason to freak out. There's no
I
reason
get
to
it.
freak out.
Looking for something to be upset about. That's
Yeah,
it.
I get it for the purists, but if you want to make a giant movie like this, you're not going to get an actor for tons of movies. He's probably going to do at least a couple and tell him, hey, you're never going to speak a word ever in any roles. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and the big reason why he wasn't the main character in the two G.I. Joe movies is because you need a lead actor or a lead character to talk. You need a lead character to talk to the villains or to someone that he's working with. Whereas he worked as a supporting character in those movies because everyone else around him was talking. And if you have him as the main character, you have to have him like they could take a chance in the future and make a movie where he loses his voice like a quarter of the way through and the rest of the movie he doesn't talk. Like that could be a cool attempt at doing it. But if you're doing a Snake Eyes movie, he has to talk. I'm sorry, but he has to talk.
yeah, I get it. I mean, I get the fans being upset, but like at this point, like I haven't seen them, and I know that the G.I. Joes are not groundbreaking cinema.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chuck said in the chat that they're not good. They're dumb fun.
Well, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this is like a soft reboot of the franchise, or at least a full-on reboot of the franchise.
No, this is a full-on
full-
retelling.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
whole thing.
So that's
Yeah.
what I figured. Yeah. So it's not even connected to those. You don't even have to worry about those movies. But I agree with you guys. You cannot make a movie with the title character where he doesn't speak, at least not yet. I mean, if they plan on building on this universe, then he can be a character. Once he loses his voice or takes a vow, you can have him as like a supporting character with other characters around him. Because it's one thing to like not see somebody's face and their facial expressions, but then to not have them talk as well. That's because you have to have one or the other. You can have somebody who doesn't talk, but they show their facial expressions.
A
know?
good comparison that you can use is look at the way
Literally going for exactly where you're going right
look
now.
at the way that they use Carl Urban in Dread.
Okay,
Right?
I did not. You took a hard left where I.
So-
that's the way, or the Mandalorian
with
the mask. And
Oh well,
Very-
yeah, Mando's very
voice.
similar, but you have the mask, right? He's
Yeah.
covered. You don't see his face. I went towards Dread because at some points we obviously do see,
but at
we
least
do see Mando.
they are talking so they can express
Yes.
emotion and stuff. This, there's no way. And it's Henry Golding. Like, you want to see his face, right?
Exactly. Look, overall, like, and we're gonna get into the trailer, but I want to read this cast off real quick because this is ridiculous. So obviously Henry Golding is Snake Eyes. Andrew Koji is playing Storm Shadow, and if you don't know, he's an incredible martial artist, actor, great stunt guy.
wait. Is Storm Shadow the white one from the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Someone's microphone is bouncing up
Jacob
and
keeps
down, by the
touching
way.
his table and it's bouncing.
Oh. And so
My mic's not
Samara
moving,
Weaving,
though.
Samara Weaving
It's your
is
connection thingy.
Samara Weaving is playing Scarlet, which is awesome. Samara Weaving was the lead in Ready or Not. She is badass.
Love her.
Um,
What is her character's name?
Scarlet, she's a historical G.I. Joe character.
Oh, okay.
Ursula Corbero is playing Baroness, which is even more awesome. Henry Golding talked about her in the featurette they did when they dropped the trailer. And we're also going to be getting appearances from Iko Uwais. And then many of you may know him as the lead actor in the Raid movies. He's playing Hardmaster. Peter Mensah, who is in a lot of films, but he what I know him from most is from the Spartacus television show.
300.
He's the one that
300.
Leonidas kicked.
Yeah, so 300 as well, but I know him most from the Spartacus television show. He was the gladiator trainer in that show. He's playing Blind Master, and there's a whole list of characters here that I can go over, but that's kind of the main cast that we're going to be seeing, those 6, on top of a couple others. But yeah, this cast is bonkers good. And the trailer, I know that it was short, but I absolutely dug what they were doing. I loved it. I thought it looked great. The action looked awesome. Henry Golding fits an action role very, very well. And I love seeing the very gritty, grounded martial artist style take on the film that movies like The Raid and a lot of others have taken on as of recent. I can't wait to see that implemented into a Snake Eyes movie, and this movie just absolutely kick ass. I'm so excited.
Yeah, for someone that doesn't know anything about this stuff, I am actually pretty excited from what I saw. Like, clearly from this last 10 minutes, I don't know jack what about this movie or franchise, but from what I saw just from that little teaser, I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty cool. And the fact that Henry Golding is the lead, because I actually think he's pretty good at everything he does. So
yeah, if this wasn't a G.I. Joe movie and this was just a trailer for a new action movie coming out, I would be like, damn, that looks sick. So the fact that it's tied into the G.I. Joe lore, I'm all in for it. And I finally am open to the idea if Hasbro owns all this and they're making the movies with Paramount, screw it, give me a cinematic universe. Look, you guys are the ones who were always saying that they should do it, and I was always the one like, no, I'm okay with it. Transformers, Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, screw it. I'd be down for it because that means we would get Power Rangers movies. So
let's see if the movies are actually good first.
This guy,
because look, he has every right to say that, because look what they're doing. They've done they're doing more G.I. Joe stuff, right? They've restarted it with the Snake Eyes. They're planning on doing more Power Rangers with a reboot, and they have a brand new Transformers movie in the works. So that isn't tied to anything. So it definitely is possible that at some point they could do it. It's I would much rather see G.I. Joe and Transformers, because we get those crossovers in the comic books.
I honestly, I really wouldn't want that, but I'm open to it.
Because I feel like Power Rangers is essentially the two combined in a different world. And like I said, G.I. Joe and Transformers, they actually cross over quite a bit in the comics. So,
yeah, no, they fit more together for sure. Gio, so what do you think about the teaser itself?
Well, first I'll say I'm a fan of the direction that they're going. They're following Transformers, where they took the best part about those movies and gave it its own movie. The best part about the G.I. Joe movies, for anybody who's seen it, is by far Snake Eyes. So to give him his own origin and to make it sort of a starting point to a new, reboot retelling of G.I. Joe is a smart move, actually. The trailer didn't really show much. It pretty much gave us what we needed to be excited about a Snake Eyes movie, because I mean, it's one thing to be excited about it on paper, but to actually see some of the stuff, I mean, they're like literally like hopping on cars, fighting on the highway. It took me back to Matrix Reloaded. The cinematography looks amazing. I'm curious if they actually shot that on location wherever the story takes place. But for a first trailer, it sold me. It got me more excited. It got me looking forward to Snake Eyes. This has been a huge question mark ever since it was first announced some time ago. I think last year, maybe the year before. But we'll see. Henry Golden, he's on a roll. He can if he can knock it out of the park, then he becomes all of a sudden an even more bigger name in Hollywood. So. Yeah,
absolutely.
Jacob,
and
who are you going to cast as G.I. Joe?
Well,
so
I don't know how it works, but there's not really a character named G.I. Joe, right?
So Brian, just for your information, the G.I. Joe, they're called the Joes. The characters they have names like Duke is typically the one that people go for. And just to let everyone know, we will do a Duke casting table at some point, but we might have some people on who are a little bit more familiar with the property.
Oh, I would have no idea what I'm talking about. I did know that though that G.I. Joe is not a person that I know of.
So the Joes are named after someone,
Well,
But
there was
I
like a
don't
legendary soldier, right? That it was named
Yeah.
after, and then, but he's not like a character in the modern day of GI Joe.
And I'm not the most knowledgeable. I know a little about it. I'm going off of the stories that I know. So someone who is very well versed might say it in the comments. But yeah, there's not actually a character that's called GI Joe. And Chuck, no. So in the sequel, the Joes were named after Bruce Willis's character.
I didn't mind that. That was fun.
So I don't know if they'll do that here, but again, this is just Snake Eyes lore. This isn't G.I. Joe stuff. He's not a part of the Joes yet. This is just all about him as a character of Snake Eyes at the moment.
So I used to think that Snake Eyes was a bad guy, so that shows how much I know about this lore.
I was just trying to bait Jacob to say Doc Ray Montgomery.
No. I'm not allowed anymore, remember?
No, you are not.
That's why I didn't choose him for Superman last week, because you guys said I'm not allowed.
Oh my
Would you really have chosen him?
No. We were doing it. We were doing Calvin Ellis. Come on.
we were. Yeah.
But no, I would not choose him as even if a regular, Kal-El. But anyways, let's move on.
A regular Kal-El.
Apocaflix now is not the only show that we do here. We have a show on Fridays, and Brian, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yes, we do. We have the Fandalorian on Fridays, Fandalorian Club, where you can come and listen to us talk about Bad Batch. It's at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, we will be doing episode 4. Yes, 4.
I'm
first,
so thrown off by the episode orders.
Yeah, me too, because of that first 2. It always throws me off. We'll be covering episode 4 and without Jake this time. So this should be interesting.
Yes, it will be. Alrighty, so we got one more news story to get to, and I'll throw it to Jake for that.
Yeah, so as a lot of the news has been released lately, Knives Out 2 has pretty much dropped bombs left and right lately. Over the last week, essentially each day, minus yesterday. Yesterday was the only day that wasn't consecutive for casting announcements of Knives Out since it began. They have added... I'm pulling it up right now. They have added 5 cast members to its cast around Daniel Craig. And I'll name them off right now. So, first, obviously, Daniel Craig was returning. Then, it was announced that Dave Bautista would be joining him. Then, Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, and today was Leslie Odom Jr., who is from the Hamilton play, which is where a lot of people probably recognize him from. Mm-hmm. And so right now we have 6 cast members to Rian Johnson's Knives Out 2, with many more to be added if he's going to be continuing a story or have a similar story to what he had in the previous movie. Obviously, there was like 10 to 12 cast members in that movie. Right now we're only up to 6. But, I mean, look, Daniel Craig, Catherine Hahn, Edward Norton, Leslie Odom Jr., Dave Bautista, and Janelle Monáe are the cast at the moment. This is ridiculous, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is like the Avengers of whodunit films. It's amazing. And I'm so on board for it. Every direction they're going with these, from someone like Edward Norton, who is, Oscar worthy, almost every performance he puts out there, to someone like Dave Bautista, who has really grown as an actor over the recent years, done a lot of action films, but now playing in this type of role, to someone like Leslie Odom Jr., who does a lot of stage stuff, but also can do a lot of other stuff in film as well. He just had a role in Regina King's most recent film on Prime Video. And plus Agatha all along. It's Agatha all along. She's the one who's done it.
Chuck nailed it because, we're going to be thinking it's her the whole entire time. Yeah, like absolutely. Everyone is going to be watching her the whole entire time and just being like, is she doing any shady shit? No? All right. It's not her? Okay. I still think it's her, though. So.
Look, they're not done casting this movie. And the thing is, this is still... This cast right now is amazing. It's still not as good as the cast of the first one yet, in my opinion. But
I agree.
Obviously, there was like at least 20 names in the first one.
Yeah, they're not.
They're going to add like at least 5 more key high caliber names, I think, because I just think that's the style of the way these films are going to go. Large ensemble cast, and it's like I'm all in for this. And as soon as I heard the Catherine Hahn one, even if she never was in WandaVision, like this is such a great casting for a whodunit mystery, and especially the style of the way Knives Out was made. Right, they were a lot of the movie was them being interviewed by the detectives. And can you imagine when she's getting interviewed by the detectives and what type of character she's going to be playing? So she's definitely the standout to me, but the rest of the cast is incredible, I will say.
So including or excluding Daniel Craig, there was 10 main cast members, like the ones that they put on the cover of
The poster.
whatever.
Yeah.
DVD poster you want to name it. So we're at, what is that? What'd you name? 5 or 6?
So we have at least 5 more.
Okay, so 5 more. So that's
I would
like-
say they're probably going for at least 10. So maybe just 4 more.
So
Which still at that point, it's like Rian Johnson, and I like this a lot because just because
Jake, you're going crazy. I can tell.
God, yeah, the ringing in my ear is nuts.
It's Jacob's swing arm.
I like this a lot because look, Rian Johnson hasn't done a film since Knives Out. Before that, he did on the Star Wars stuff. It was a nightmare, right? People were coming after him because of what he did The Last Jedi. It was just a whole mess. His name still has huge recognition. It does. He is an incredible filmmaker. And whether or not you like The Last Jedi, the movie itself, if you look at it just as a film, it's a really good film.
Mhm.
It's not a good Star Wars movie at times, but it's a really good film. He is still an incredible filmmaker that can attract talent because he's a great storyteller. He knows how to tell stories. Knives Out did that perfectly. Brick did that in the past. Looper did that. He knows how to tell stories, and it attracts actors like the Edward Nortons, like the Catherine Hahns, the Jamie Lee Curtis's of last movie, and all the actors that he had in the last film as well. I'm not surprised at all that he's getting these type of names. I'm very interested in like what's the next Edward Norton style actor that is joining this film.
It's funny that you keep saying Edward Norton because he's the one that I keep forgetting is cast.
See, and he's the biggest build in the cast so far. He is the most well known, the most he is the most awarded.
He's like the most prestigious actor of this.
Yeah, he gets the most recognition for his performances most of the time. I'm wondering who that next person is in this film.
It'll be the very
I'm hoping it's a female.
It'll be the very last person they announce.
Allow me to say first, because we didn't talk about this on any of the nows, Netflix has done a brilliant job. Okay, they dropped $500 million on Knives Out 2 and 3. That's a lot of money, and they're pretty much saying, Rian Johnson, we love what you did with the first one. We know you have ideas for future installments. You have an actor who's going to be kind of the center of each of the movies, and Daniel Craig. And what they're doing with the casting is just incredible. It's really amazing to see. Now, I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy because it's a little bit too. We have to recognize that it's so hard to repeat the success of a whodunit movie the second time, to be as smart, as witty as the first one. It's a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for Rian Johnson. So there is a little bit of a concern. Well, I don't want to say concern, but I'm hopeful that it's as great as the first one, because that was my favorite film of that year. I think it was 2019, right? 2019.
Yep.
For Knives Out. Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. I mean, you could watch it every couple months. You just, it's so good. And I know he wasn't announced, but I really hope there's a way they can bring Lakeith Stanfield in for something, because I really loved when him and Daniel Craig were kind of working together. I don't know. I thought he brought something to the first Knives Out movie. He's an actor with a lot of range. He's somebody I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but I would love to see him Daniel Craig, a special request, and then he shows up and helps out or something. Last thing, I don't see them going the family route again. I think it could be something else. Maybe Daniel Craig's investigating a business or something. I don't know if he's going to go the family.
I don't think
route.
it would be family. That was.
Huh?
I don't think it's going to be another family again.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. So
it would be too similar. But no, I agree with you. I was wondering if they announced Lakeith Stanfield returning, because that's actually my favorite role of his is Knives Out. I think that's. I don't want to say it's his best performance. I haven't seen Judas and the Black Messiah yet, but it's my favorite performance of his that I've seen. So I would love for him to return. And yeah, I think, look, I trust in Rian Johnson to look, this is his, baby. He created this. Obviously it's inspired by the Agatha Christie stuff, but I just think I trust him to do something. Look, once we get to the third movie, because he's going to have to come up with something crazy for that movie, but I trust him to deliver on this movie. And I've come around on the Last Jedi. I still have problems with things they did with it, but it's not a bad movie. Like, I don't think we ever thought it was a bad movie. We were just disappointed in certain elements as Star Wars fans, but I've very much come around on that movie. It's like, I don't dislike it at all. I just, have a few issues, but so overall, like, Rian Johnson is a great filmmaker, and the first Knives Out was it got nominated for best screenplay. So that's
didn't he win?
He might have won for best original. I'm not 100% sure, but he was up for best original screenplay, so there's a chance he won. But he went up against some crazy hitters that year. So
yeah,
but either just to get this type of film, it's very like, it's kind of a genre film in a way, and those type of movies getting those Oscar nods is a big deal. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I trust him as a filmmaker.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what Dave Bautista does. I mean, in this movie, I know Rian Johnson's not going to make him the muscle guy, the strong guy. I'm more interested. Well, I'll save my thoughts because I'm going to talk about him in a little bit. So,
well, I know we're going to talk about our favorite actors and actresses, and we don't have to spend too much time on this, but do you guys have any idea for anyone who would be great fits to join this movie? I mean, my dream one for me would be Cate Blanchett to join this film. Like, that would be absolutely incredible.
She would be perfect for this. I mean, we're going to be talking about favorite actors and actresses currently, so any of the choices that I'm going to be naming here very soon.
Of course, yeah.
But someone that isn't on my list that every time I see a film of hers I enjoy, and that's Sandra Bullock. Ooh. I would really like to see Sandra Bullock just in anything, but in a Rian Johnson film like this. I think it'd be really cool. And I would also love to see Emily Blunt return to Rian Johnson and do a film like this as well.
That would be cool.
She did do Looper with him a few years ago, or a number of years ago now. But yeah, I think off the top of my head, Sandra Bullock would be a cool one.
I would like another like older actress that like you don't really see very often, but like when you hear them in the cast, you're like, oh yes. Like I don't know who I'm thinking of, but just like
you don't have anyone specific in mind, just a general description.
Well, it's funny because I did on another channel. Someone like we did our own casting, and I went for a couple like random funnies, like Betty White, just someone that you would just be like, oh my god, like they're in this, or Cher. I had Cher as one of them, just someone completely like random that is older, doesn't do too much anymore, but like came back for this and made this fun. Like that is
well, that was kind of like the Jamie Lee Curtis in the first one, you know. I mean, she did the Halloween movie, but prior to that, she wasn't doing much, you know.
Yeah. So I would love someone like that. I also, the other one that I thought of too was Angelina Jolie. I think she would be kind of interesting in one of these. I don't know if I would in this cast, but I think she would be she would be kind of interesting to have in a murder mystery.
Yeah, I also wouldn't mind maybe a John David Washington in something like this. I don't know what. I mean, we don't know the plot, so I don't know what kind of role he could play. But I would like to see him in something like this.
For some reason, sorry.
No. I was Brian's put what Meryl Streep. That'd be a great one.
Yeah.
Glenn Close, one of these ones. Like, I would love one of those. Just
Yeah. What were you saying, Gio?
Oh no! For whatever reason, I just want to see Quentin Tarantino play a small character in one of these movies. I don't know why.
That'd be
I think that'd be fun.
Make him like a shoe store owner.
Right.
Something to do with feet.
I didn't even think about that when you said that. But it's always funny to me that he's starred in movies too, but like he's not really an actor though, which is kind of cool. Well, any last thoughts on this story, guys, before we move on?
Who do they get next, man?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure anyone would love to be in this movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I bet.
Awesome. Well, if you guys haven't heard about our other show that we do called The Casting Table, we did one last week on Apocaflix. Now, we don't normally do that, but we actually do solo episodes of The Casting Table where we choose a character. Usually it's a character that could possibly be coming to the big or small screen sometime soon. And it's a well-known character. It's not just like just a random thing. It's like a character that's established in some type of mythology or lore or things like that. We've done a bunch of episodes in the past. We've done a bunch of Marvel characters, DC characters, Star Wars characters. We've done the few oddball ones here and there that aren't, the most popular ones. So go check out. There's a playlist on our YouTube channel for The Casting Table, and we're gonna have a few more coming down here in the pipe pretty soon. We do at least about one a month, but sometimes 2 a month if we can squeeze them in there. So go check out The Casting Table and let us know if you have any ideas for upcoming possible characters for us to do casting tables for. We're always looking for that for sure. And so to close out today's show, we're going to talk about our favorite actors and actresses. And Jake, I'll throw it to you kind of to introduce this because it was your idea. So what made you choose this as a topic today?
It was the Knives Out 2 castings that's been happening. We're seeing a lot of big names, and it's a topic that I've actually had. I have a list of like possible ideas that, and I do want to. I'll confront this right now because everyone's been saying in the chat. This will be re-uploaded on replay. YouTube has gone down. It's down at the moment.
Wow!
So we're just gonna keep on recording. Like it's a live show, and I'll re-upload this later for everyone to watch. So unfortunately, it happens sometimes. But yes, YouTube went completely down. Anyway, Knives Out inspired me. It inspired me. So I wanted to talk about it, and it's been something I've had on the list for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it tonight. It's a fun topic, something that we can put together pretty quickly, and have just a nice, fun, open discussion about it, and reveal some of our favorites and whatnot. So Jacob, do you want to shoot it around the table or just leave it open or whatever?
Can I just say really quick, I just thought of someone perfect for one of these Knives Out.
Oh, go ahead.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Why not? You got Chris Evans' last one, get Robert Downey.
I didn't even think about that. I just thought his snarky like personality type stuff in one of those I think would be interesting. Sorry, continue.
I would like him to be somebody that we might suspect as being involved, but I don't want him to play like a detective because then it's like Sherlock.
No. You have to be one of the people being
for sure
judged.
I mean, I love Robert Downey Jr. You could add him to this upcoming conversation for sure. So we can go about it however we want to do. I'll go to you first, Gio. I mean, maybe you guys want to split it up, do actors and do actors first, and then we'll do actresses after that.
Okay. Well, I kind of hinted at it earlier. I'll start with Lakeith Stanfield. I mean, this guy, he can do it all. Seriously, this guy can. You give him any role, any genre, and he will deliver. I mean, we're talking about Uncut Gems, TV show Atlanta, Get Out, Judas and the Black Messiah, Knives Out. I haven't seen Sorry for Bothering You. I think that's
sorry to bother you.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen that one yet. It's on my list. But man, this guy just. I mean, if you Google images like Lakeith Stanfield movie, you'll see like so many different characters that he played, and they're very different characters. This guy could totally pull it off. He's going to have an even bigger career going into this decade. He kind of came on the second half of this past the 2010s, but yeah, for me it's Lakeith Stanfield. I can watch him in anything. So looking forward to what he's doing next. Yeah, he's Oscar worthy. He's an Oscar nominated actor. We can say that now. Like, good for him. So
Yeah, I like him. I haven't seen enough of his stuff, to be honest. I've maybe seen 2 or 3 movies with him in it, but he's definitely talented. Like he just got nominated for an Oscar, so of course he's talented.
yeah.
So that's a good one there. I guess we could go one by one. I don't know. I guess that can work. Jake, you want to throw out a name here?
Yeah, I will go with an actress. And I, per usual, just
Not how it's working. He said
That's
actor.
fine. That's fine. We can do that.
Yeah, we can go.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, no, I'll go actor. I'll go actor. My bad.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was just joking around.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm focused on this whole YouTube thing at the moment.
Yeah, let's just.
fine.
It doesn't matter. Actor, actress.
I will go
one by one.
actress. I'll go actress, and I'll mention the one that, if I were to rank them, would probably be. No, you know what? I'm gonna reveal my number one because I want to talk about her.
And I will say though,
I want to bring her up.
I think there's a difference between all time and right now. So
Absolutely.
if you want,
No, this is a current list for me. This is like people working like right now, what they're doing with right now. And I'm going to reveal someone I think who a lot of us might have on the list. And she might be on the level of what some have been in the past few years. And that is Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth Olsen is a phenomenon right now. It's not just because of WandaVision. She's been putting in great work for a long time, but finally getting noticed for it. WandaVision pushed her to her limits, right? She was able to really show her range as an actor or actress. And I just think that her career is really about to take off, because once Doctor Strange 2 happens, there's a chance we may not see her for a little bit. And that will be an opportunity for her to really branch out in some other films. And look, Marvel's going to lock her down. They're going to lock her down and get her for a long time, because the character of Scarlet Witch right now is one of those characters that possibly has the longest longevity out of any character in the MCU because of what they're doing with her. But
did you hear what her original contract was for Marvel?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't hear this, it was what, Brian, 2 movies and 1 cameo.
Yes.
So her original. Wow. So, and then she revealed that she's already done 3 contract signings with Marvel, and she's on to her 4th one.
Wow.
And so because they didn't realize, 1, how much they were going to use her, and 2, how popular she would become with the fans. Now they're going to lock her down forever. But with that said, I think that she can be in any role. She can play anything. She can do action. She can do comedy. She can do romance. She can do a serious film like Wind River. She can do a coming of age film, which she did with Ingrid Goes West. I mean, she's done everything to this point, but she's finally getting recognized for it. And I love to see it. She's going to be around for a very, very long time. She's our age. She's late 20s. And she is like one of those people. Sorry. She's one of those people that everyone is talking about, and she deserves it. So Elizabeth Olsen for sure has to be on my list.
That is a great one. To me, she's like limitless, to be honest. Like she could have 3 Oscars by the time it's all said and done. Like, she's that talented, in my opinion. Like Jake and I, we talked about her for years, ever since Wind River and all this stuff. So, and of course, even going back and, watching Age of Ultron and stuff, it's cool to see her, like, how far she's come. And she had to overcome, like, being the Olsen twins' little sister and all that.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Because it's hard to break away from that, and have people take you seriously. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Granted, with time and new generations, like that, the Olsen twins died down, but like still, like I mean, we remember the 90s, early 2000s. They were like the biggest thing in the world. So
They're still successful.
They're rich as
they're fashionistas. They're like,
but I mean,
high up
like
in the fashion world.
But when do you really hear, like, it's not very often that a sibling comes and like makes their own name that's just as powerful as the siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and neither of them will admit they were never great actresses. They quit acting a long time ago. So it wasn't something that like they were passionate about.
Gyllenhaal is the one that comes to mind. That's the closest of what you're saying, Brian, where Maggie was an actor. Then Jake came along and was like, oh God, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And they even played siblings in Donnie Darko. Which
the Baldwin brothers.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one too. Yeah.
The Waynes.
For sure. All right, Brian, you got a name to bring up?
I mean, we all know where I'm going.
Yep. I put her on the thumbnail for a reason.
I did. I was so happy that you did.
Who's on the thumbnail?
Gio, you will see who's on the thumbnail for you.
She is.
Thanks for paying attention, bud. Appreciate it.
I saw which one was for me. Thank you, Jake.
She's the greatest actress right now in our present time.
Which one?
Saoirse Ronan.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because at the very beginning, Chuck said, "Y'all have my crush, Lady Bird."
Yeah.
Image. And
Sacramento's own.
Chuck, my heart. When I saw that, you were forever attached to me for that. But dude, she has not made a stinker flop. Like, she's in movies that have been huge. Lady Bird, Little Women,
or at least critically acclaimed films and Academy level films. Yeah.
Even Mary Queen of Scots wasn't huge, but it was still rated and reviewed very high. It was a smaller film, but
Brooklyn is fantastic. She was nominated for an Oscar for Brooklyn.
Yeah, so she just does everything perfect, in my opinion. So, thoughts, John?
Oh man, make her Poison Ivy, please.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Margot Robbie's pushing for Poison Ivy.
Wow. Well, I'm not gonna put Gio on the casting table for Poison Ivy because he just reeled his pick. So.
But that'd be pretty damn good, to be honest.
I mean, she's gonna play in that one with crap. Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Jesus, Kate Winslet. Thank you. There we go. In that movie where they're lesbians, archaeologists or something. Something along that line. And people were, before it was about to come out, I think close to the pandemic, and people were like, holy crap, this movie is going to be amazing. And then it went into
She's going to be a lesbian partner to Kate Winslet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, sign her up for Poison Ivy. But, yeah, thoughts, gentlemen?
Oh, I mean, I love her too.
It was expected. I'm not commenting.
Yeah, you can still comment on her work as an actress.
Oh no, she's incredible. I mean, there's everything that she does. She's very much in the boat of.
Thank you. That's what it is. Ammonite. If I'm
she's in the boat of a lot of these. She is, and this might get a lot of flack from fans of her, but she is the more stable, longevity version of what Jennifer Lawrence was a few years ago.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I wouldn't.
That's a good comment. What are you talking about?
Does Jennifer Lawrence get nominated for everything she does?
Yes.
Brian, she got nominated for everything she did a few years ago. Is what I'm saying.
I mean,
she has an Oscar.
I'm saying for 2 years, Jennifer Lawrence was nominated for Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress with one Oscar in her belt for a film that actually didn't make a lot of money, but her career died down after a while. Saoirse Ronan's isn't going to die down.
Lawrence has at least
not going to die down.
4 Oscar nominations and an Oscar.
She won for Winter's Bone, right? She didn't win.
No, she won for Silver Linings Playbook.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because I remember she tripped and Bradley Cooper tried to help her upstairs. So.
But I see what you're saying, Jake. Like Jennifer Lawrence was on this skyrocket rise, and then it just kind of stopped and just stayed here. Like Saoirse Ronan is younger, I believe.
She is.
She's younger, and she's on that skyrocket rise, and it hasn't stopped.
It's not.
All she has to do is avoid the Mystique role, and she'll be all right.
Well, see, here's the thing with Saoirse Ronan. If you notice, she kind of only does a movie a year. Have you noticed that? Like, it's usually just like one a year.
Well, that's what Jennifer Lawrence was doing, but Jennifer Lawrence got caught up in doing the same thing every year. That's the problem.
Jennifer Lawrence was doing more than one a year, right? I feel like the amount of movies she put out.
Nah, she did either one, maybe 2 a year.
Well, it's just because the Hunger Game movies all came out, and then
they all came out in back-to-back years, which is why we saw so much of her.
She felt oversaturated.
There's probably a couple years where she did one in like May and then December or something, but Saoirse Ronan's doing different films. That's the thing. She's doing different roles. And so her career is going to be much stronger because of that.
Jake, she was putting out like 3 a year. I just looked up her IMDb. 2013, she had 3. 2014, she had 3. 2015, she had 2. 2016, 2. So she was.
But I think it had to do with the X-Men films and Hunger Games because she signed those contracts, so she had to do those movies. So that was, yeah. But I mean, to be honest with you, Jennifer Lawrence is on my list. She's not the one I'm going to bring up, but I absolutely love Jennifer Lawrence. I do not understand any hate towards her at all. All right. One thing I'll give people is the way she treated the Mystique character and how she.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
that's the one thing. But and I understand that and I get that. And it's kind of like disrespectful to the character, to be honest. But other than that, is like I don't understand. Like she's a great actress. Like why don't people want to see her on screen? I don't get it. But that's and look, I have a ton of names. Somebody mentioned Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is my 3rd favorite actor of all time. He's a legend. I love Jim Carrey. But we're not necessarily bringing up our absolute favorites. I want to shine a light on somebody who I don't think gets a lot of love. And to me, he's one of my favorite actors working today. It's Jay Hernandez. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He played Diablo in Suicide Squad, but that's like he's great in that movie. But that's not even to me his highlight role. Like I used to watch him in the Hostel films. He's in Bad Moms. This guy, and he's in TV shows and stuff too. He's at least in the first season of what's that Amazon sci-fi show? The popular one. It's not The Expanse, right? Is it?
He was in The Expanse.
He's in the first season of The Expanse at least.
You didn't mention one though that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it off the top.
No, you didn't. You didn't mention a movie that he's a part of that I'm very kind of upset that you didn't mention, Mr. Fantasy Football Guy.
Oh, he's in Friday Night Lights, which I haven't seen.
I was gonna say The Rookie.
I told you I haven't seen Friday Night Lights, but he's kind of been like a supporting actor his whole career in a way. And like he's on TV and stuff. He plays Magnum PI, but I just think he's super underrated. I think he excels in every role he's given, and I think he can be a leading man if he just has the right type of role. So I just wanted to shine a little love on Jay Hernandez because I think he's awesome.
I would love to see him get more roles. I was surprised he got killed off in The Expanse.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that show's interesting. So I'll go back to you, Gio. Do you want to bring up another name?
Yeah, are we still doing actors or whatever? Just
whatever you want.
Do opposite of whatever you did last time.
Okay, well, I will bring up this actress probably should have gotten the MTV Generation Award over ScarJo. No disrespect to ScarJo, but she's been doing it for an even longer time and a lot more critically acclaimed roles. And it's Charlize Theron. Honestly, I could watch her in anything. Okay, like her performance in Monster, so creepy. Oh my god, but so good. Well-deserved Oscar. But of course, for the past decade, she's kind of been the action star, going back to she starred opposite Will Smith in Hancock. She was in Snow White and the Huntsman. Obviously, Jake, Mad Max Fury Road. Come on now. I'm still kind of pissed off she's not a part of the Furiosa movie, even though that movie has some great castings. And then, of course, The Fate of the Furious. She was probably the best part of that movie. And what's the movie last year? Ogard. She an Atomic Blonde. She is still the female action star, in my opinion, and she has a lot of films under her resume that prove it. And she's great. So,
I mean, she's on my list. So,
yeah,
nice.
Absolutely cannot go wrong with her. I'll throw it back to you, Jake.
So what I did actress last time. I'm gonna do an actor. Hell, I'll drop my big one. I think the best working actor today for me personally is someone I've actually already talked about. Every time this guy touches something, it's pretty much gold. And then it also includes a MCU villain. That's Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is, to me, the most diverse actor we've seen in a very, very long time. He can do pretty much anything. He does something like Prisoners, where he's playing a cop with some issues, to Nightcrawler, where he's hunting down car crashes in the middle of the night with an evil turn, to an MCU villain. He can do comedy. He can do romance. He can do heartwarming stories like Stronger or Demolition. The dude at this moment in time has touched pretty much everything that is gold, even from when he was a kid. We mentioned Donnie Darko. We haven't mentioned Zodiac, which he was incredible in. He's done a lot of films through his entire career that a lot of people recognize. Yeah, Southpaw is really good too, a sports film. I just think that everything he does is dynamite, and I look forward to when he's cast and stuff. And he kind of also picks, good projects, right? He's not taking a lot of stuff left and right. He chose the Mysterio role, which was a big surprise. But
he's a diehard Spider-Man fan, though. So
yeah, exactly.
Of course, he's going to do that.
It came to his lap, and he's like, yes, absolutely. But other than that, he's picking roles that really suit him as an actor, and that can kind of push him. A lot of actors don't pick stuff that push their limits, and he's choosing stuff that push him, which I really appreciate, and it really turns out to be good results. And I can't believe he hasn't been nominated for a Best Actor role yet, which just shocks me.
He was snubbed so hard for Nightcrawler.
It's unbelievable, but yeah.
Steve Carell and Bradley Cooper shouldn't have been nominated that year.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, Jake Gyllenhaal, no question, Best Actor in the world right now.
I would say also with him joining Superman, Spider-Man, it wasn't, and while, I know Gio's going to argue this, he wasn't your typical MCU villain in the sense of, like, he was used more as, like, a setup to kind of, like, tell a bigger story. Like, he wasn't, I don't know how to really describe it. Like, he revealed that Spider-Man is who he is, but that's going to push another movie forward. So it's different. It wasn't just kind of like this, like, one-off, here's a bad guy. Like, you don't see a lot of people moving a movie forward. And I already know, Gio, where you're going. He's a disgruntled Iron Man employee. It's the same thing we've seen every single time. But, you don't see a lot of actors, in my opinion, taking roles to set up another movie, which we don't even know if he's alive at this point, which, let's be honest. So, I don't know. It just kind of, he to this day, him playing a role as far as, like, actors you wouldn't think joining superhero movies, I think to me, he might have been the most, like, really? Like, he's taking a superhero role? So,
liked it.
Without being the superhero?
I think that's why he did it, though, because it was a one and done. I think that's why he kind of did it. And he's not, like, he's not an action villain. Like all the stuff that we were seeing was fake. He doesn't need the money. That's fine. I'm sure the money's nice, but he's not worried about that. But yeah, I mean, I think we all love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a great actor. He's definitely one of the best to me. I mean, I'm not going to talk about him. I've talked about him so much, but we all know Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor of all time. But so I'm not going to bring him up today. But yeah, that's a great one. Great one, Jake. And I forgot he played Mysterio because I was like, I would love him in the MCU, but then you're like, wait a minute, he already played. He was already in the MCU.
Has anybody seen Source Code?
Yes.
Was he good in that one?
I mean,
He's good in everything.
Yeah, he's good in everything. But Source Code is a great movie, though.
Gio, name a movie that he's not good in.
The
Far From Home.
Velvet Buzzsaw.
I'm just kidding.
He's great in Velvet Buzzsaw.
I did not like that movie.
Well, I'm not saying all his movies.
That's because that's an art house film.
I'm not saying all the movies are great, but he's great in them.
He's great in everything he's touched, and that includes Prince of Persia.
I've never seen that.
No.
End of Watch. Wow.
Oh yeah. That's
Jarhead,
great
Brothers, October Sky, Life, Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy is so good.
He's good in everything. Just letting you guys know.
I love Bubble Boy. Oh my god.
All right, Brian, got an actor for us?
Yes, so I went actress. I'm going off of kind of what Jake said with Elizabeth Olsen, but I'm going Paul Bettany because
nice.
He is so good in everything he does, and he has, in my opinion, some of the most range in an actor that we've seen in a very long time. Think of just the roles he's been in. I mean, he was that from A Knight's Tale, just this funny, goofy character that made the plot go. Then look at how many different types of roles he played in WandaVision, from the serious robot to a family's dad, and just all these different decades, and each one was believable. What else is there that he's done? The villain in Solo, a Star Wars story. He wasn't in it very much, but he was still a decently menacing villain.
He'll be back
in Solo.
He'll be back in Bad Batch.
Oh yeah, that I could see. That's a good call. But yeah, I just think for me personally, I can't think of a lot of actors that literally can hit a genre and just nail it every time. And I feel like he is one of those ones
Jake
that
Gyllenhaal.
I haven't seen, I guess, enough to say that, but I just think he's fantastic in everything he does. So
I mean, I remember I've been watching him for years. A Knight's Tale is one of my favorite. I don't even know how to describe that movie as far as the genre goes.
That movie is so good.
Like a medieval comedy. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I watched it religiously as a kid. My parents had the soundtrack on CD. We listened to it religiously as a family.
Good call. Such a good call.
It's just that, and Paul Bettany's a big reason why in that film. And then he kind of blossomed throughout the years. And then luckily for us, he joined the MCU. We got to see him as a character like Vision, and he started getting more roles because of that. He got the role of Dryden Voss, and yeah, man, and what's funny about Dryden Voss is, remember, he wasn't originally supposed to be Dryden Voss. That was originally supposed to be Michael K. Williams. And due to the switch of directors and schedules, Michael K. Williams had to back out, and they brought Paul Bettany in to play the character. So lucky for us, we got that version of him, and that leaves the door open for Michael K. Williams to join in another capacity in Star Wars. But yeah, I think it's a great choice. He's very diverse, very, very diverse.
Oh, Wimbledon. Yeah. Nice.
Wasn't he in Master and Commander?
He was incredible.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny? I've had that movie sitting in my DVD case for 15 years, and I've never seen it.
That's a movie in the history of films that is one of the handful that always deserved a sequel. Always deserved a sequel.
Interesting. And the guy plays a freaking robot so well. Like, I believe he's a robot. It's like, just throwing that.
Yeah, he does play it well. So I'll go ahead and go actress here. And look, my favorite 2 actresses of all time are Nicole Kidman. That's why she's on the thumbnail. And then Kate Winslet. Those are my 2 favorite actresses of all time. But if we're talking right now, and this might be a little predictable, one of my favorite actresses working right now is Anya Taylor-Joy. I freaking love her. And especially in Queen's Gambit. Like, to me, I've always liked her, you know, ever since I saw her in Split and then everything she did after that. But Queen's Gambit elevated her to another level for me. Like, I'm not going to say she's not on a Saoirse Ronan level, because she obviously Saoirse Ronan has 3 Oscar nominations, but like, she is one of these super talented actresses who's obviously going to do some action in Furiosa, which, look, I even would want to see a Charlize Theron Furiosa movie. But if you're going to get a young actress to play her, fine, this is a good choice. So
I can't wait to see her bald. She's gonna kick ass.
Yeah, so I just think that, and she's just so talented as just a pure
and how
actress.
she loses her arm. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but she's gonna lose her arm.
Hey, any excitement surrounding her, I'm totally all in for. But yeah, so when I heard about Queen's Gambit, I was like, do I want to watch a series about chess? And then I watched it, and just she reels you in and she makes you care about it. So I just. I'm still interrupting, and I apologize. If I were still
was this one of your choices?
If I were still writing reviews for our website, which we had a number of years ago, and I reviewed Queen's Gambit, the opening line would be, "I never knew I needed to know more about chess until I watched Anya Taylor-Joy play chess."
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I just think she's on the rise, man. And she's gonna be. I think we'll be talking about her in award seasons for years to come. So, yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Furiosa, I agree.
Probably one more each, and then we'll go ahead and wrap the show up.
I will say, Mad Max is a good movie to me. It's not like one of my ones where I'm like, oh my God, the greatest movie ever. However, the idea of her being Furiosa, my butt will be in the seat the first showing that I can get into, because I agree she's fantastic in everything she does.
And hey, Chris Hemsworth's in there, can't hurt.
No.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we'll go one more. Gio, and I guess just choose whoever you want to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Mr. Dave Bautista. And it's not so much, I mean, his body of work over the past couple of years has definitely been more and more impressive. I mean, aside from My Spy, and I think that was My Spy. I think that was.
I never saw Stuber, but I heard it wasn't great.
Stuber.
That's what I said. Stuber.
Oh, I thought you said Scuber. Did any of you see Hotel Artemis?
Yeah.
Which one?
Very long time ago.
The Jodie Foster film, Hotel Artemis. He's in that as well.
Is he good?
Watch it and find out. Mr.
Okay.
Dave Bautista Stan.
Well, I need to watch Blade Runner 2049. That's like the next movie I'm gonna watch. I believe it's on HBO Max.
Not surprised you haven't seen that movie.
Anyways, yeah, watch him in Army of the Dead. That really made me a believer that he can do drama. He's not just a big muscular typecast, in Spectre, when he's literally just, on there to kick Daniel Craig's ass. Well, try to kick Daniel Craig's ass.
Daniel Craig kills him.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jake. Yes. Anyways, Dave Bautista, I think he's gonna have a big decade this year. I am all on the hype train. Hell, I downloaded Gears of War 5 and I'm playing it just because he's in the game. This guy is gonna be a big star. He's gonna be he won't be as big as Dwayne Johnson, but as far as who I think will get an Oscar first, if I had to put money on it, it's going to be him. But
you think Dave Bautista, and I'm not shading, I'm just asking, you think Dave Bautista is going to get an Oscar nomination before Dwayne Johnson?
yes. Dave Bautista has been very careful, or about as careful as he can be, picking his roles. Okay, Guardians 3 will be the last time we see him as Drax. He doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to take more serious roles that expand his or that challenge him. Okay, that allows him to show some range. And you're starting to see it. Denis Villeneuve brought him back after Blade Runner 2049. He put him in Dune. And so that's a huge vote of confidence. So yeah, that's my guy.
Awesome. I mean, obviously I've seen Army of the Dead. I don't know if I agree with you, Gio, but I think he's getting better. Like each movie that I see him in, he's getting better. So that's good. And I don't know, to me, The Rock is a really good actor at this point. So I wouldn't say he's there yet, but he can get there. It took The Rock over a decade to become serviceable in a movie as like actual acting. So Dave Bautista could definitely get there. All right, Brian, I'll go. Oh, wait, no, Jake, your last one. I mean, obviously, I will say, by the way, for everybody watching, this is not the only actors and actresses we like. You know, we
just cut up. We're short on time. Eventually,
we could list 20 names, but
we will do we will do a full blown rank list. And I know Brian Nussbaum put them in the chat, but you know what? F it. Speaking of Blade Runner 2049, I could go two directions.
Oh, I know where you're going now.
I could go two different directions. And you know what? This person, man, I can't wait to see this person in a movie that's coming out this year. Ana de Armas is one of the best working actresses today. She is kicking ass all over the planet. She's in James Bond. She was in Blade 2049. Give her that Poison Ivy role. Give her the Zatanna role. I don't care what it is. Give her something. I want to see her in it. This girl, prime. That's all I need to say. Move on.
Absolutely. She's fantastic. All right, Brian.
She reminds me of another like Anya Taylor-Joy where you're just like, oh God, she's good in like everything she does.
No, she reminds me of Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Alicia Vikander in a while.
Oh, you will see her though.
She's fantastic.
Okay.
Hey, she has an Oscar on her. Man.
I got her on speed dial, so you will see her.
I know. It's so funny because I would love to see your actresses list because I can think of like 10 that you've said like she's amazing. So I'm very curious to see what your ranking would be. I'm gonna go with someone that still isn't really doing much, but I love everything he's been in. And that's going to be Winston Duke.
Nice. Future Black Panther.
I hope so. He is great in the things. I don't want to say everything he's done because he's only done a handful of films, but like every time he's that character that you like love. And I just want to see him in more stuff. He's got 2 movies coming out this year. Spencer Confidential in 9 days, whatever those are. So hopefully those are good.
Spencer Confidential is a sequel to a movie that he and Mark Wahlberg already did 2 years ago. There's already a first one.
Oh, well, good to know. But yeah, I wanted to see more of him. So I would love more Winston Duke, please. So, and I totally agree with Jake. Jake and I were talking about this the other day. I would love for his character to take over as Black Panther. Not as T'Challa, but just
I just watched
Black Panther.
I just watched Black Panther over the weekend again. It was on TNT, and it is such a brilliant choice.
Yeah, right. It would be so good.
It would be such a brilliant choice.
It makes the most sense, and it's like it's not controversial. Like I think everybody would be okay with it.
I think so too.
And we're already getting off topic, but M'Baku's development so far has already turned right in the Black Panther movie. He went from a rival tribe who was rivaling for the role of Black Panther to a respectable comrade. But by the time Infinity War and Endgame come around, he is now a part of Wakanda because he was one of the few Wakandans who survived the snap.
Yeah.
So he was in the process of keeping it alive while everyone was gone. He is perfect for the role of Black Panther. Perfect.
Yeah, and it with that, like, I think it would just make sense because, like, and if people are like, well, then we're not going to get the man ape villain.
Careless.
Yeah, my thing is, make a new one, make a new disgruntled person.
Well,
that
I don't
takes
think they
over
were ever
that
going to really do that, though. Anyways,
I'm sure
with
they
him.
at some point they would have turned him into a villain and go against him. But either way, that being said, I would just love to see Winston Duke in more roles personally.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So yeah, like I said, none of the people I've highlighted aren't on my all-time favorite list. They could be one day, but I want to again shine a light on somebody who does not get the respect he deserves, and that is Logan Lerman. Logan Lerman
He's on my
is
list.
Good
one of my
choice.
favorite young actors. I think he's younger than he looks. Like, he looks younger than he really is. He's 28, so he's like around our age, a little bit younger than us. But he's been doing this for a while. And like, even in the Percy Jackson films, everything I've seen him in, he's good in. Like, I've never watched a movie with him in it and been like, oh, he wasn't that good in that one. Like, he's 310 to Yuma.
Wait, hold on, Jacob, hold on. I bet you I can guess your favorite role of his.
Oh, I was just gonna say it. Can you guess it?
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Absolutely, yep. I freaking love that movie for multiple reasons, and maybe the main one because Emma Watson's in it, but also just he kills it in that, and he kills it in everything he's in. He kills it in Fury. Even though I love Perks of Being a Wallflower, Fury might be his best performance, to be honest. He's great in that.
When Brad Pitt says, do it, kill him. Oh, my God, such a great scene.
Yeah, and then
in a lot of movies that you just don't think.
No,
of.
I know. He's in a ton of stuff, but he's never, like, he's rarely the lead of a film. You know, he's always plays somebody's son or he's, the young guy in the movie.
I wanted him to be Spider-Man so bad.
Yeah, when they were casting for it, that was because we didn't really know much about Tom Holland. Like, we only seen him in one movie or something. But yeah, he would have been great. I just think, I don't know. I think this guy his ceiling is higher than he's actually reached so far. I think he can do, and he's still young, so we'll see. But I just think this guy should be leading films.
Have you seen a picture of him like recently? He has like gray hair now.
Yeah, he has early on gray hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he can play older.
But he still has a baby face, though.
Hey, I got gray hair too.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to show some love to Logan Lerman.
Maybe he's our next casting table as far as reversing it, and like, what role would he be great in? So
I have ideas, but I don't want to ruin it.
I'll
save it.
I keep thinking of more and more people that I would add to my list right now if we had more time. All right.
We'll do a full episode of ranking at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that should do it for this episode of Apocaflix Now. Thank you, everybody, for watching in the live chat and all that stuff. Who knows what happened with YouTube, but you'll be able to see this full video up when we put it up. So we'll go around and say our goodbyes. Brian Avalosino, why don't you tell them where they can find you on the web, man?
Be Valsina on Twitter and From a Certain Point of View on YouTube.
Not from a certain point of view, just a certain point of view.
Sorry, I was too fast. A certain point of view. I almost said Schmodown Entertainment Network. I was speaking too fast there.
Gio Ramos, where can they find you online, man?
Hey, one day, guys, if that's a goal of yours, one day. But let's see. You can find me on Twitter for now at Grey Goose Jedi. I'm thinking about changing it again. But I also do Fandom United, a separate YouTube channel. Goes live every Sunday evening at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. So checking me out there, and of course on here.
Awesome. And Jake Berlin.
Yeah, at Qui-Gon Jake all over the socials. 2 N's because someone else took it before I did. Liam Neeson took it before I did. I'm on POV with Brian multiple times a week, talking Schmodown after shows, reactions, talking to cool guests. And then I think this episode is going to be uploaded in the early morning on Wednesday because of the YouTube kerfuffle. And so by that time, I'm going to have a Whiskey Jedi going live this afternoon. And so I'm actually going to be doing a slightly version AMA about Star Wars while building my IG-11 figure. I finally, I just put it together.
Oh, I was going to say.
I finally got my IG-11 sideshow figure that I'm going to put together on the show and just talk Star Wars. So if you guys want to come by, ask me some questions about Star Wars, whether it's future stuff, past stuff, whatever, let me know and come hang out. So that's on my own channel. But yeah, I'm also here all the time on Apocaflix, just not for the rest of the week. Peace.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at JacobBartley824. I also have a Power Rangers podcast on YouTube called Off the Grid. And if you play fantasy football or you're a big NFL fan, check me out at First Round Fantasy on YouTube. Me and my buddies over there, we do a fantasy football podcast as well. And don't forget to check out Apocaflix movies on all of your and our watch along National Treasure next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be
Friday
doing
for Fandalorian.
Yes. And don't forget the Fandalorian Club this Friday as well at 4 p.m. It'll be at least Brian and I. Maybe we can get another guest to come in there and watch it with us. And also check out our audio podcast. You can find those anywhere you listen to podcasts at Apocaflix Movies. And if you want a cool shirt like this, a Marvel Rewind, or a shirt from any of our shows, you can find those at TeePublic. Just search Apocaflix or search Jake Berlin, and you'll be able to find those. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.